Soge Chanana Change Chonye Gipezana Lola Benji Zangen Ruma Chodan Zoge Chanana Chanchu Batu Dani Kyabsu Che Dagi Chonye Gipez Lola Benji Zangen Ruba Jo Chodan Zoge Chonana Chanchu Batu Dani Kyabsu Che Dagi Chonye Gipez Rola Benji Zangen Ruba Jo
Hodan la me me dang le wan ji wang bo dang jia jia lao zong ju ye zhong lao jia wan jia wan san jie zong ba rao do ye jian jie ge ju ju wan jia da tang jie dang be chu nian jie nian jie 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 ha ye ge dang lu dang niu jian ge zhu bu da dang me ye ge na Roa Gunja Dana Jedamba Tamje Gado Dagi Jedando Tamje Gado Dagi Jedando Nanga Nyambe Senja Tamanje Jedando Tabja Lana Neba Yandaba Dobe Sanje Je Koban Rinpoche Jene Jan Toba Ja Te Toba Jave Chedo Dambe Chozamo Senyam Kulon Kunju Jejamba Nandekwa Se Tabde Samba Yo.
So now, for the benefit of all mother sentient beings who are numberless as vast as the space, I must achieve I must achieve the state of the precious enlightenment. Therefore, I'm going to listen to these precious Mahayana teachings, adopting the behavior in accordance with the lineage Lama. So please generate the motivation in this way in order to listen to the precious Mahayana teachings.
Tadila Khan Samba Jave Chene Tande Yimbare Tadila Khan Samba Jave Chene Niba Pachin Tamanila Pachin Tamanila Lopsula Ni Samden Jingo Yendela Yenela Lopsuta Hirab Jingo Adonla Lopsulo Da Tambola Tu Yeneji Todemba Yene Drusunga Da Yene Drusunga de Yimba on dig Nalu Da Yene Drusunga Delia Da Jonsu Dodu di Shegu Yare Jonsu Mamadi Dodu di Shegu Yare Jonsu Mamadi Dodu di Shuvayena Yene di Yutot Truyeva Kasan Shuva Kasan Danyama Shuva Nanshin Yutot Tru Yutot Tru de Tsangwache Ane Dan Devala Namna Chu Dundenji Ane Do Dan Deso Kangola Dunyan Gongjangi Mangan Chewa Gongjangi Yanzang Hingre Dan Devala Namna Chu Dundenji Do Ane Jawalama Tube Wambo Le Ranga Nivaji Mame Chile Niche Soto Jone Rangi Mian Samji Tedam Yana Mian Samji Teji Banala Good Banala Shala Dandi Migdendire Banalia Lama Tube Wambo Chisha Dear Tamboni, Sesha the Nesha de so, Nesha the Randa Guru, the Sesha the Shiraram Majone, 당번에 세차디 시라랑 고마래 대지 담바토베온 부제지 차니바 아니지 콜을 줘가 남성 써와 야도지 주름비 쇼바 안다고지 어딘데지 아니 콜을 야 줘가 남성 써와 연도 세봉에 전에 쇼유에 냐마나 어딘데지 않는데
So now, the context of the Dharma we are listening now is the graduated path to enlightenment, and we are at the individual grade scope. And in the individual grade scope, we are reviewing among the 6 perfections, the last 2 perfections, the perfection of concentration, perfection of wisdom. Out of the perfection of concentration, there are 6 main subdivisions or outlines. We are at the actual method of practicing calm abiding. Just to cover a short review of what we learn so far. First of all, if you are into meditating and achieving calm abiding, you need to collect all the prerequisites. There are 6. Out of those, once those are perfected, then you can start your practice of calm abiding. And there's no need to go into much detail, since the majority of you are familiar with meditation posture and so on and so forth. However, you sit comfortably seated on your meditation cushion, adopt the 7 posture of Vairochana, what is called the 7 posture of Vairochana, and you start your meditation, your preliminaries. When you reach to the point in which the Guru, Buddha Shakyamuni, is on the top of your crown, from his heart, a replica of Buddha Shakyamuni emanates, comes in the space in front of you, facing you at the level of your eyebrows, far in the space in front of you, and then you start your meditation. At the beginning, right away, do not be concerned with clarity of visualization. That is something that comes slowly later on. So at the beginning, do not force the clarity of your object of meditation. Just think that in front of you is Buddha Shakyamuni in his aspect, 1 face, 2 arms, with his holy body, and the exalted body is golden color, radiating light. He wears the 3 robes of a fully ordained monk, and so on and so forth. Just think he's there. Like, make sure that, like, visualize it in this way. Okay, in front of me is Buddha Shakyamuni, and so on and so forth. These are the characteristics. Just go through the characteristics, but do not force the clarity. Now, at the beginning, you should be more concerned with stability.
다 미된데 자고 자죠 도벌 자고 자죠 도벌 제용의 다 체슈대 자고 자죠 도벌 제벌 마시 강된데 얘네요 아니 제용의 다 체원데 자고 자죠 도벌이야 제등에 어디는 주요래 미된 마셔버지 미된데 담중에 송전에 아니
No. So
아니 다 진거 연구래 아니 정원데 아니 무슨다 아니 땅보지잖니 아니 그 아니 고바데 마임 버잖니 줘주래 전달해
So therefore, although you might, this is the general, like for a general public, we choose as our object of meditation, Buddha Shakyamuni. I told you before, we can use other objects. So now, for the sake of the general public, we choose the object as an object of meditation, the aspect of Buddha Shakyamuni, and try to tie up your mind to it. Try to tie it up on the object of meditation. After a while you are meditating and trying to stabilize your mind on your object, just think, okay, Buddha Shakyamuni is there. Go over and over to his aspect, and so on and so forth, not right away, but after a while, then we need to be concerned about sinking thought and excitement or scattering thought. So be aware that after a while that is coming, so be ready for it. In the meantime, just keep your mind stable on your object. No. So then after a while, so for the time being, you keep applying effort in order to get your mind stable, real careful. Try to stabilize your mind on your object of meditation again and again, real careful. Once you do this really carefully, slowly, your stability, mind becomes more and more stable on his object of meditation. The more the mind becomes stable on the object of meditation, the closer you get to the arisal of scattering and sinking thought. Therefore, once your mind begins to increase the strength of stability on its object of meditation, by the way, you increase the force of your holding, of the mind holding on the object, and the force of the clarity of the object. At that time, not at the beginning, when there is no stability. Once the stability begins to increase, then you should be aware that the more stable you get, the closer you get to arisal of scattering thought and sinking thought. Therefore, you need to tide up your mind a little bit more and more and more by the way the stability increases, and increase also the quality of clarity of the object that before we were not concerned with at the beginning. So in this way.
rangi ruju tingen zi te kendre chi guba kanda chi guba mishi ba taba memba chiri necha tang zo secha chiri necha yago yoba chi ani zo secha chi tiyang zindang tambi ani chechu nyenden chi tingen zi chi ngeba ju rugu
Jeju ni digi necha dan secha ni kechu dilon rebelon. So therefore, once the mind becomes more and more stable, then the risk of sinking thought comes about. That's why you tied up. You seek to tide up the mind and to increase the clarity So that with clarity you get rid of sinking thought. But with clarity, once you increase the clarity, then you get into the problem of having scattering thought. So the more the mind gets clear and clarity, the easier it is for the scattering thought to come about. So you need to be aware of this, and you seek stability and hold to the object. So you have to just straight in accordance with your state of mind, with these two characteristics of your concentration on the object. The object on the object of concentration, the mind should be stable with strong holding and with quality of clarity.
내차 유배 강리야 아니 신도 세워 세치 나단 담바jen 나단도 좀
So,
내차 유배 강실이야 아 내차 담제긴 그 말이 네가들에 신도 세워 세치 나단 담바jen
so therefore, just stability is not enough for us when you meditate calm abiding. Just stability is not enough. The object, your meditation should have stability, stronghold stability on the object, and extreme clarity, extreme force of clarity. The object should be vibrant.
세치 나단 담바jen 좀다 사회 사제 손바디인다. 사회 사제 손바 딜라테는 스네 고두스야들. 스네 고.
So now we're entering the explanation of the 9 mind placements that constitute the progression of your meditation on calm abiding.
스네 고두스들. 방아람도 안 공신지 잡았더나 아니 스네를 양용원 잡아지 거래. 스네 당들이야. 용원 잡아지 거래. 용원 잡아지 마저는 용거 말해.
So therefore, this
스네를 양용원 잡아지 거.
it is important if you're serious into achieving calm abiding, you need to progress through these 9 placements, 9 placements, and you need to have an actual experience into these placements. That's extremely important. You actually need to go through the actual experience of these.
다녀온 전사디 스네디 고요래 고 스네 고제 스네 고제니 다고버디 종나 스리지 잡토네 야워야래 스네 고데 신조바 윤존조바 랜덴조바 냐와른 조바 듀와자바 히와자바 남바 히와자바
So now I'm going through the 9 placements. The first is called placement. The second is called continued placement. The third is renew placement. The fourth is close placement. The fifth is called subduing. The sixth, pacification. The seventh, heightened pacification. The 8th, one-pointedness, and 9 is called equipoise.
Long. Joba yema chimbachene ini gyundun joba lenden joba nyewan joba duwa jaba yiwa jaba namba yiwa jaba tsijitu jaba nyamban joba de gule guyole.
So therefore, these placements, these are the placements of the mind on the object of meditation of you choose. So the first is called placement. Is just you are seeking to newly place your mind on the object of meditation. Then the second is continue, like for just as an example, continuum placement. It means no matter how much you at this stage you're trying to place your mind on the object of meditation, but that is lost very easily and very fast. And again you bring back the mind on your object of meditation. Likewise in the renew placements, and so on and so forth.
Sene gogo nangi tambo sen joba zingi yinda Dandi Kendeji Resana Lama la mibi danga Dandi Tubi Topin Rubari, Tubi Topin Rubari, Tubi Topin Rubari, Lama la mibi danga, two Topin Rubin, Tubi Topin Rubari. Dia Miwala ya, Ani Yadam Jenny, and Jurin what nigmari. Miwala ya, Yadam Jenny, and Jurin what meneva, Yan Yanrong. Oh,
So now the first, that is called placement, the first level, the first placement is achieved through the power of hearing. That means through the instructions that you have received on the object of meditation. So it means at that time, where you pull up from your memory the instructions and you try to, that means the object of meditation is such and such, you know, that recollection is achieved through through hearing the instructions. And you, at the beginning, this level, this placement is just a constant effort of keeping the mind for an extremely short period of time on the object of meditation, extremely short period of time, because the mind at this point doesn't have the power to abide on his object. So it is a constant struggle of keeping the mind on recollecting again and again the object of meditation. There is no, at this point, at this level, there is no continuity of stability whatsoever in your of the mind on the object of meditation. Again and again has to be brought on his object.
Manto song amare, Nanto de manto song amare, Nanto de manto song amare, de Nanto de muezin de nyam yung yare, Nanto de muezin de nyam yung amato, Nanto manto song amare.
So what happened at this time, there are a couple of things you become aware suddenly of the density of the discursiveness of the mind, as if suddenly the mind becomes much more the thought processing has increased suddenly because you have started to meditate. That's not the case. That kind of discursiveness and thought processing, thought processing was there before as well, except that now, because you're taking such a close look at the mind, trying to fix the mind on the object of meditation, suddenly it becomes so clear that the mind is so full of thought processing. So it's not an increase in it. It was there before, but you suddenly are aware of what's going on there. So now, and gradually you progress in what is the second stage, the continuous placement.
아니 야담 잡아디 윤추니 윤추토바 윤추니 봐 링루 땅야 아니 탑시 땅주리 링루 땅야 그 탑시 땅주리 또 코란에 뭐인 버전에 링루 근데서 땅거잖아 배나 많이 튕고 직관 된데 윤 세세절이야 링루 땅 투베이네 가로래 가로래 어딘데 된대잖니 링루 땅주리
So this is the placement where you start slowly to increase the continuity of stability. Before there wasn't continuity of stability whatsoever. It was just a constant struggle of bringing it back and bringing it back. So now the continuity of stability increases slightly and keep increasing on. So you will find yourself having the mind slightly more stable for a longer period of time than before. Longer period of time, it means like in the text, the example is while you are practicing at the second mind placement, your mind probably will be able, every once in a while, to be stable on the object of meditation for the amount of time that it takes to recite one mala of Mani Padme Hum, or Mani Padme Hum. And this is, this level is a considerable amount of time.
Ndi chewe kable ya, kabre namto yi mewa cha. Kabre ya namto lang yung yore. De, dandi namto namto lang yung yore. Re de yene ya, namto ki nye suwe nyamre ma to, yanda ke ma re. Di ya, namto do sanne toba che wu ya yo ma re.
So, long. So at this time, yet, although the continuity of your stability of the mind, of the stability of the mind, the object of meditation has increased in comparison to the first placement, it's not that the thought processing or the discursiveness of the mind in Tibetan is nanto. This word is used for a variety of terms relating to the mind. In this case, is thought processing, discursiveness. At that time, it has decreased, but it's still there. Still, it's not going to bother you so much as it did on the first placement. So this second placement is achieved through the power, through the force of reflecting. So the first was achieved through the power of hearing, the second through the power of reflecting.
Jingo Hajang Mawore, Ni Gub, Di Sanlo Tambi Gully, Juma, Yana Gova, or than the Mambo Shuju Yungiore. So the Yanda on the Mambo Yumba Yanda, then the Yiji Yi Nane Jim Denju be Yiji Yi.
So now, at this point, at the first two placements, your mind is totally bothered by a great occurrence of scattering thought and sinking thought. This is the characteristic of these two, of the first two stages. You have to work through these two stages by using the first two powers, the power of hearing and the power of reflecting, and here basically the force, there is the attention that you apply on this level is called forceful conveying. It means that you forcefully apply your attention on the object very forcefully. Yes, it's called forceful conveying. So even at this stage, placement, continuous placement, the periods of stability of the mind on the object are much shorter than the periods of distraction, or say of non-stability. Non-stability. Long. Long. So now the third. So here in the text is called renewed placement. Lempa Gyalje, George, it is more like patchwork, patching. So this is more patched placement. What Rinpoche said, it is like when if you wear clothing that is being patched because it was torn or anything. You like patches. He said, I don't see many patched clothing around here in the West, but certainly in the East, it is very fashionable. It means like everybody wears more or less something that is patched. Which said, when I was in Tibet, I also had to wear patched clothing because, like under the Chinese, like new clothing or something like that wasn't good. So you had to patch it, even if you don't need to patch it. You had to put patches on your clothing. So anyway, this placement is exactly like that. It's like patching, a patchwork of placement.
Dolo Gangle Hambatu Yona, Hambatu Kova Yona, Yan Jadu Ya Lani, and Senjo Japan pick about draw.
Long.
Din Nancy send it never Dior, sing it never send Sumba. Sing it never de loss of Kova Yena, Jadu, and Jodruni, Dicandle, Lamba Yama Yusa, Lamba Senedi. And
why it's called patching? because just as if you if you had a torn cloth and you put a patch on it, and let's say again this patch come off and then you have to put it back again. This is exactly the situation at this third level of placement. It means your mind, you seek stability, the mind seeks stability on the object, you lose the stability, you patch it back. As soon as the stability goes away, you are aware of it, and you patch it back again and again. So this is why it is called patching.
So
at this time, the problem of scattering and sinking thought becomes much stronger than it was before, because your mind, it is likely more, finds a little bit more longer period of stability on the object. With that, scattering and sinking thought become stronger. So therefore, at this time, you need to apply a very strong force of awareness in understanding whether the mind has been taken over by scattering or sinking. So this third and the fourth placement are achieved through the power of awareness or mindfulness. Like yesterday we thought that mindfulness was a better word. I always use memory here for some reason. Anyway, let's call it mindfulness. The power of mindfulness lets you through these two stages. Shiva Nyava Joba Chisum.
Yiva dele Nyawan Jovare.
Long.
Sene Yiva de Nyawan Jovare. Senengava de Tua Javare.
Long.
Senengava delia, Nyawan Jovi Kapsol, Sene Yiva de Ruby Kavle, Annie, and Mount or Hajangi, Simit, now lolly, Dur Tabi Wangi, Annie, Chiwan Tamo Yongyali Nyanga Shirayore. Chiwan Tamo Yongyali Nyanga Yore. Di Yang Delia Xijen, top down damage Jen. Di Jara Jet, Xijen Jara Jeru. Xijen on top down damage Jen, Di Jara Jeru June. Dingen Denju Yundan Sane, Sin. Ya zing dui, zing su dui ya di. Dingen de ju yun dan san de zing su dui ya di. Ao shu qian bu jie wu ya.
So at the time, then when you progress to the next placement, that is close placement, that is the fourth. So the periods of stability have increased a lot, considerably. Therefore, the mind is somewhat unusually withdrawn, really in, and it is unusually withdrawn because the level of stability is much more, and the periods in which you lose the object of concentration are much shorter. Therefore, at this point, at this one and also the next at the next level, the fifth level, there is a great danger of subtle sinking thought, Therefore, at this level, you have to increase the work of alertness as much as possible. That is what makes you through these two stages, the power of alertness, that being watchful, being constantly watchful, whether the mind has been taken with subtle thinking thought. Oh, Shipa long. Long. Tambo di Shipa Kyutshima to sumbalo. Shipa ngapa. Shipa ngapa dini nijalo ti Chipa Sundabo Chipella. Long. Long. Long.
Sim Jeva Jeva. Tangade Kablia, Sim Zim to Tani, Tabi Genji, Gova Tamo Yungioris, on Delia, Ane Gova Tamo de Kaju, Lesona. Ane Kaju Leta Mane Maleta, a letter Maleta, Kaju Leta Maleta, so Dogje Jenny, Lama Tato, Ane Gova Jenny.
And but at the level of fourth and fifth, at the level fourth level and fifth level, you have to engage in some opponents for thinking thought, and especially the subtle thinking thought. So you have to try to uplift the mind somewhat with like recollecting the great benefits of achieving calm abiding. So when you enter the sixth level, that is the sixth placement, that is pacification. However, there you have to be aware of subtle excitement. So that is most likely to occur at this point. And as well here, this is what plays here is the power of alertness, of vigilance. That's what we call it yesterday, vigilance. So at this level, the gross aspects of thinking and excitement, they don't arise anymore, because you have progressed to the point which you have achieved the full power of mindfulness or memory. However, you still need to be watchful with vigilance whether the subtle, because the subtle aspect of these two, they can be bothersome at this level as well. So, and this is the 7th level enhanced pacification. Although, as I just say, instances of subtle thinking and excitement might be there, you get rid of them through the power of, like you progress through this level, through the power of effort, continuous effort, of applying the antidotes.
Semne sumba ne dumbi bharji ngabonde Sumbani, Sumba, Hiva, Ngava, Drupa, Dumbas. De Ngadi, Dingen the She Chambo Yori, Chingu Soji Batu Java, Batu Javi, Chejin Jubi, Yiji Gabri, this one.
Long.
Chejin Jubi, Yiji Gab. Senen Sumbani, Dumbi Party, Ngabundi, Sumbani, Hiva, Ngava, Drupa, Sumba, Hiva, Ngava, Drupa, Dumbat. Batu, Chingu Soji, Batu Javi, Chejin Jubi, Yiji Gabi.
Long. So from the third up to the seventh, this 5, third, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th mental placement. These 5 are through these 5 your ability, your stability on the object of meditation increases exponentially while you're progressing through it. And the biggest obstacle are sinking thought and excitement in both growth and progressing through remaining the subtle levels. So you need the engagement of the mind here is called interrupted conveying, because you get all this interruption in the stability through caused by sinking thought and excitement.
Ta jeva, sene jeva re. Sene jeva de sechi du jeva. Sene jeva de sechi du jeva. Thoma, dande gombe kable ya. Thoma, nyambo tembe. Ane, zendang chungze hik tenba yina. Ane, tenji ring jingo so. Jingwa da goba la soba. Ane, chamo zanye meba. Ane, chong toba yungyo.
So the 8th placement is called single pointedness or one pointedness, and at this point, there is not much effort in your meditation. Just when you start meditating and you place your mind on your object of meditation, you just need a very strong intention of not letting the mind being overwhelmed with sinking thought and excitement. And throughout the length of your session, your mind is going to be stable on your object of meditation, not being bothered even by the subtle sinking thought or excitement. So you just need an intention at the beginning of applying the antidote for sinking thought and excitement, and the mind will stay there until the end of your session.
Ore sene dumba de java nyaba de chundu chu top chindu.
Long sunsan.
Chundu chu top chindu. Ta sene goba sene goba de nyamba joba. Nyamba joba sia dire. Sene goba de bezo dan chawa jukpa te songsha. Te yang jevi kap yang jevi jeva la tene de bezo naba. Bezo naba henju doba yinbe zoba jungze jami goba 카드 장원지기 칸드마 장상인지기 아니 담바담바는 힌지아니 아니 매점 잔디 제모.
So at this long lesson. And now the 9th level is equipoise. At this point, once you reach the 9th level, that is not yet calm abiding. However, as soon as you start your session, you place your mind on the object of meditation, and effortlessly. You will go through the entire session of meditation without the slightest problem caused by any of the obstacles of calm abiding. So the mind is there and is not bothered anymore by anything. It is like the mind stays on the object of meditation effortlessly in the same way as, for instance, for someone who has memorized some of the prayers, immediately as soon as he thinks of reciting that particular prayer without effort, he can go through the recitation of that prayer. So in the same way, as soon as you want to engage in the object of meditation, your mind is there and it will be there with no problem. No. So just again, Rinpoche is saying again, it is like when you have like a particular prayer you know by heart very well, and you can pick it up any moment. Wherever you are, and immediately, effortlessly, without thinking about it, you will be able to recite it. So in the same way, your concentration at this point is totally effortless. You place the mind there, and there you go. And no. So this is at this point. No. This is achieved through the power of having perfected the familiarity. Langless. So 5 minutes break. Sashi bugi jushi meto jan riro nishi mite sangye shindu mite buwage drokuna tashi manche yedang guru rama manda naga nea dayam sangye shindu mite buwage drokuna jeva 단계 또 죽은 돌로 당 딜리 이제 유튜 대도 네 대기 인데나마 레베레베 친소 네 단이 친소 아니 비게 저랑도 달래면 메셰 So while I was going through, while we went through the nine placements, and before, by the way, we also talk about the 6 powers and the 4 kind of attention. I hope that was being received.
yenengön rusude ondo sere sunne goba topne Sene Goba Topne, Sene Goba Topne, Ani, Chingwanta Goba Chamota Java, Chingo Chamota, Ani, Java, Dindin and Beme Yuri, Netoba Juna, Di Yene Jitumbali, Wumari, Yene Jitumbali, Jumbari.
So now, once you reach the 9 level of the 9 placement, you have your meditation, your concentration is totally free from sinking thought, excitement, and whatsoever faults of concentration. You're capable of holding on your object of meditation for a very long period of time without being distracted or anything. Yet, this is not the actual calm abiding.
Oh, yeah. That yene wo tobali ya gargore zana. Dingen den ya, dingen de sedu. Da derba yenerba. Dingen den ya. Ani layan gonghin jiba jebe. Ani lusen Xinjiang Hindu jambe. Lusen Xinjiang gade chaba jen. Ani togo yore.
Why? Because at this point, the actual calm abiding, realization of calm abiding, it is also must be accompanied by the experience of the great suppleness of mind and body. Until that experience of suppleness, of extreme suppleness of mind and body has come, you're still at the 9th level. You don't have the actual calm abiding.
Luji Xinjiang da Simji Xinjiang, o tian zhe yao zhe ma. Luji Xinjiang da Simji Xinjiang Ni Yue Wei Na Ne Hindu Jiang ba. Hindu Jiang ba Ni Yue Wei Na Ne Ani Simji Xinjiang de Ngan Li Jie Ge. Da Simji Xinjiang ge Dewa Dang, Luji Xinjiang ge Dewa Ni Le, Ani Luji Xinjiang ge Dewa de Ngan Li Jie Yong Ge. On those. Dom Rab di Xian.
Di tambo di Lu Sem Xinjiang di Sem Xinjiang. Ine Lu Xinjiang.
Oh, re.
Ine di Tangi Karasum so di lui Dewa da Sem Dewa.
Re. De Xinjiang ge Dewa ya.
No.
Xinjiang ge Dewa. Xinjiang de Jeba da Ani Dewa Chaba Jenji Jeju ya ma.
No.
On de Singi Xinjiang di Ngan Li Jie.
No.
Luji Xinjiang di Xinjiang ge Dewa di. Dewa di Ngan Li Jie.
So now, as for the experience of the extreme suppleness of mind and body, the first, the suppleness, the experience of suppleness arises the mind suppleness, and then the body suppleness, and along with it, first you get the experience of the bliss experience of the body, and then the mind. So it goes like this: the suppleness of mind, and then suppleness of body, then the experience of bliss of the body, and then the bliss of the mind.
Gene ne sinyom be chosu chone gyawal ya kandu god mirombe ani chi samlo chi yorba nyom be chosu chene gyawal kandu god mirombe nengene de 생그 돈에 봐 이긴 로드 생그 돈에 봐 이네 신이 신장 아니 이네 신 신장 뭐만도 되지
양치 순만 양치 순만 어디 미게웨 디 가슴
데려봐 신용 뇽몽베 초수 주네 신데 뇽몽베 초수 친네 Gevala Kandu to good Merome. A nangane. The pa yin. The Pamavachani. Pamavachani.
So the experience of mental suppleness comes as a result of having thoroughly eliminated the discordant factors in the mind, the mind that is prone to engage in non-virtues, and has difficulty as a result of that of engaging into virtue. So with when that factor is totally pacified, then the experience of the extreme suppleness of mind arises. In conjunction with that, by the way, you get rid of the discordant factors of the mind, that tendency of the mind of being effortlessly engaging in non-virtues and having so much difficulties in engaging in virtue. Once that is pacified, then the suppleness of mind arises.
Long lane, ani, ti, tu, lu, hindo, jambi, long, le rung, lu la chaba ju, on di mana. Long le so rong di lu la chaba ju, lu di ne ngen dan tene, lu gewe chawa la jindo do ku to rong.
And what happens on the basis of that, of the experience of the extreme suppleness of the mind, then there is a particular new, it is called wind. It's sort of a psyche, like, the inner energy of serviceability arises in the body and totally pervades your body, totally pervades the body. Along with that, and that brings the suppleness of the body. That means the body, at that level, the body of the practitioner doesn't have any obstacles in engaging in any virtuous action he wants to engage. So not only the mind, but also the body. And along with it, with this new serviceable wind that pervades your body and allows you get rid of all the obstacles of engaging, that prevents your body to engage in virtuous action, that along with it, there is a new experience of bliss, of bliss, a new experience of bliss that pervades the body. So that's the body bliss arises.
Kaya me chao, rangi lula sopa, ane nawa yen kaya me chao, lu ja migden la, ta tim song nyamano, tende ki nyam sha ju. Lu de migden le tim song nyambe, tende nawa sha ju.
And at this point, most probably you come to lose the. So it is almost like the body has disappeared, totally dissolved into the very object of meditation. Like you have an experience of being in oneness with the object of meditation.
Tadi kabliya simi xinjiangji gade nyamdini simi xinjiangji xindo jambala tenne ani gawata dewe nyamchambote nyamchambote chungze ji chungri xingsong nyambe 아니 상로주 코용기 아래 코용기 아래 된데 총도 송은 되냐 말이야 네 신미발라 땜바 신미발라 땜바 내비 띵인전다 예수 템베 신장 메요 톱이요 톱용기요 신미발라 제주도 신미발라 땜바 내비 띵인전다 예수 템베 신장 메요가 톱아 예 톱
So and with that you also have this surge of bliss of the mind to the point that it becomes it must be a very intense experience of the mind while also being totally in oneness with the object. So at that time there is after the surge of this experience, you might feel that the bliss, the experience of bliss slightly decreases. But actually what happened is that after this experience, there is a slight feeling of decreasing in bliss. But what actually happens is that you achieve stability, unmovable stability in the experience of suppleness.
제대로 땡엔전당 예수 템비 신장 묘요와 토바단 뒤냠도 아니 상대 담비 녀도 매조 매지 되베 아니 이해는 토바.
And at that point simultaneously to having achieved immovable stability of suppleness, of the suppleness of body and mind on the basis of the object of the single pointedness of the mind on the object of meditation. Right then, along with that experience, that marks the first moment of the realization of calm abiding. It is then.
Delia Judian and Judian Deve, Topa Mambo Tovala, Meta maybe Lam Yimbina, and Major May, Sunny, mean the tower.
La.
Delia, Annie, Judian and Judian and Deve, Tantan de Major Messiah. Judian and Judian and Deve, Topa Mambo Tovala, Topa Mambo Julie Chevala, Meta maybe Lam Yimbina. 아니 미조매 쓴 다야.
미교.
미조매.
미교가.
미조매 쓰든지네. 미조래. 라자다 잔으로 줘가서 줘.
Long lesson. And how do you translate it?
But not unable. Choke may, two negatives, not unable. In other words, it's able.
Capable, able.
Literally, it says not unable. That's the famous preparation to the first concentration. It's called in all the scriptures.
Okay, very well. So, as Venerable George says, at that time, that particular experience is called not unable. Not unable, because by the way of achieving this experience, you also achieve countless realization, worldly realization, and beyond the world realization. So that mind carries this. Not unable.
이제는 리바를 주나 아니 세발라서 듀처럼 춘장 아니 장뇌비 세차만 보이고요 세차 샘네 세차
long
세냥 세발라서 말이야 아니 듀처럼 가수 유명하게 샘네야
And as a result of achieving the actual calm abiding, then you also, by the way, you achieve some real extraordinary qualities within yourself. Your mind is so enhanced by the experience of calm abiding, becomes so sharp and so able to penetrate whatever object is viewed by the mind, that it is almost like with your mind you can you can actually count, see clearly even the atoms and the molecules of solid objects such as walls and so forth.
Chi so la so ba yu ngai tsama nga da. Ane da ga na xin gi jia ba de pe me ji tsama ju. Gan na ya di ni mi chen ne me ga wa da. Nyo mo jia wa nyong xin. Jie jiang shu yan ba da. Ane ne cha tu bi ni jiang ding ding dong zhuo wa so. Ji yuan jiang mang bu ji ta bi yo.
So also Rinpoche is reading through the qualities that are explained in the liberation. Here it says, once you have achieved calm abiding, whenever any of the 10 mental images, that the 5 associated with the 5 sense objects, 3 associated with the 3 delusions, with 3 poisons, hatred, attachment, and ignorance, and perceiving the 2, that is male or female, immediately your mind is able to recall the disadvantages and feeling aversion for this object, for the object of senses.
Haba to yang cham ni ji jang ju gu sen ren ba chen ta ngien ju da yang da be da wa da. Ani jam ju sen ba yin na rin yin ti chen ji nyam lian da. Ani ta be nyam lian da. Nam bi chu so zhuo wa. So la ma no wan din da la ju ba jia wo song xia.
Especially if on the basis of having refuge, you focus your mind in the practice of the path of bodhicitta or emptiness, in the path to liberation, in the path to enlightenment, you will progress through it effortlessly.
Oh, de. Dan de nian da bi yin ne zhu re.
So this is what constitute calm abiding.
Yin de ta re. Ani yin ling sen de pe ge ji yuan yo re. On de nang lo le gong jia gan zhong ye yuan na. Ani ya wo xi re sa.
So what I think is that we do have a facility where people can meditate calm abiding, that is the Shinel land. And I think it would be so good if people just decide to meditate and practice this calm abiding, go over there and just do it. It would be very good.
Oh, de. Da shuma za hu shuma de shu yi.
No.
Ha tong shu yi.
No. So we conclude now the subject of calm abiding. Beginning from the next Saturday is the subject of spatial insight.
Da dong ha dong guo ju zhou si jia qian na li ge yao zhi.
No.
Wo zhou si qian na dan da. Ga men juan a si jin du.
No.
Ga men juan a. Ha dong ju guo ju zhou xian na.
So maybe we have little time to start the subject.
Yo ban jian zhong yan de ji jian ni. Nan de shu qie zha ni. Ani ma ta xue ya me wo ge so de ji cha de. 아니 샤도 자종 쟁이 아니 공기로가 남이 연다 이 양원을 붙이셔서
because in the past year I went through some very heavy medication. For me, they were too heavy, this medication. Sometimes I kind of I lose track of what I'm explaining. I'm here just like, so what I was saying or what I'm going to say. So that's a result of the medications.
다 얘네 더비 땅라 땅 아니 하동 휴위 연도 아니 면대 답대.
So now, in order to, as a Thanksgiving for the instructions on karma abiding, and in order to to receive the instruction on spatial insight, please offer a short mandala.
다니와 시럽증을 하동라 랍서라 숨. 어다 하동라 랍서리야. 사제 좀만도 잖아 숨제. 아 강사게 다음에 땡람바바. 최제 다음에 땡람바바. 딜레 하동 제출로.
Now, as for the section of how to train in the spatial insight, the essence of wisdom is in 3, establishing the unsubstantiality of self, establishing the unsubstantiality of entities, and the method of developing inside.
Yes,
Zela. The indicate di quem estava I have problem with S and H. Se caixa que de se caixa que ninguém de já de um jogo
sabje somje da dambo de ya nin je ni nyam ya nan kha da bo jong chu dan ji to ju ma da bi jong chu sabje nin je.
And the first is into 2, how to cultivate the space-like realization during a state of mental composure. I don't know what this translation really is. How to cultivate the realization that all conventional entities are like illusions during the period following meditation.
Yes,
Last.
jong chu lo. Nyam ja nan kha da bi jong chu dan ji to ju ma da bi jong chu ni je. Da dang bo nyam ja nan kha da bi nan ko nan kha da ba la jong chu de li ya. Ani 갑자 예배네 차방 예배네 덴비 직장 예배네 덴비 두장 예배네 내지요 내지.
So in regard with the cultivating the space-like I see now I'm shouting mental component, the space-like absorption or concentration is into 4 that is recognizing the object that needs to be the object of negation. That is di ci dici ci sono unanime tambo di
nyam ya na kha da bi chong chu ta ji to ju ma de bi chong chu lo tambo li ya gab ja nge be ne cha ba nge be ne den bi ji ra nge be ne den bi du ra nge be ne de ne yi yo.
So there are these the 4 points, recognizing the object to be negated, and okay, I read from here. That is, must be identical with the hips or different from them, and that it must be, it cannot be identical with the hips and cannot be distinct or different from the hips.
Oh, ne yi je.
HEAPS.
Yeah.
So it's, you got that, right? Maybe I pass the mic to George.
Yeah, yeah. Tambu gagyang yebe ne. Gagyang yebe ne. Nyeba de chabang yebe ne. Somba de dembe tigrang yebe ne. Yeba de dembe tudrang yebe ne. Ne yije. 다 근데 이제는 야고 전로 차주 얘네들 담보 전로에 참들이야 아니 나라도 전도 녀자 소데 타바 인다 아니 거기서와 죄지 다음에 주잖아 다음에 주잖아 죄비
So now, once you have achieved calm abiding, then how do you use this calm abiding? For us, our focus is the achieving liberation, enlightenment. Therefore, what really eradicates the root of cyclic existence, this the wisdom realizing the selflessness, so that it is what is called the beyond worldly or sovereign spatial insight. So that is why you want to achieve Shine, calm abiding, and the way you use calm abiding is to develop that particular spatial insight.
다 자모통반이 주 된텔란 배고고 요리 네 마토나 자모통반이 주 된데 마토나 아니 아니 타바토다메
So without developing the wisdom realizing emptiness, this particular the wisdom realizing emptiness, there's no way of even achieving the liberation, what we call nirvana. That also is achieved on the basis of this particular fully developing this particular wisdom.
Konzo teni shoyang kawo jejuwa ngambi jewo teni jewo ngambaki dunto dene gewe longe to shuji jewe yonte jaso paro chodon ro somba nanghingi ani konzo de jangchoke sendang 아니지. 디니데 자모 동바니게. 야고지 마도나 아니 산지지 살리야 르르미네 바이엠바르.
And without the bodhicitta, the realization of bodhicitta, what is called the conventional bodhicitta, along with the realization of with the wisdom, realizing selflessness, that the state of Buddha is impossible.
어디를 탑장주지 산다 히로 동바니니 니엔 야마저바전에 로병제한테 개점버리.
So that's why it's always the union, the learning and the practice of the two bodhicitta and the wisdom of emptiness that constitute method and wisdom, that those two, they should always go together, should always be together.
대안야고라마 동갑에 tembe 니데 송여라. 니로도비 히른 메디아나 년중 장주 선라 공제장 세비 자와줘바 메뉴비 대치 텐데도비 탑란베 송바르바.
And as in the quotation of Rinpoche, even after developing the renunciation and the enlightened mind, that is bodhicitta, you're not going to be able to cut the root of samsaric existence without gaining the wisdom that realizes ultimate reality. Therefore, devote yourself to the method for realizing dependent origination.
단제레바 예야 아니 동반이리야 아니 전주기 태송자바 담다 전주기 태송자바 동반이 생긴데 괜찮은지 연로 단지 전다디 카렌도지 연로 삼반도 근데 전주기 태송자바 담지자 아니 이제 저기요래 세바 슈보리 자비 인소 세바 코어데 세바데 슈볼 담아요스 자세전 자비 인소네 언제를 송요.
And anyway, the thought of emptiness, that particular wisdom, it is so powerful. It is so powerful that even if you wonder about what is it, this emptiness that we're talking about, what does it mean, empty of inherent existence, and so on and so forth, just being wondering about this, just having doubts or qualms about it. That itself, just that. It's said to shake the foundation, the very root of cyclic existence.
동반이나 전주지 태송전배 장 아니 단생 그 수보 다보 동반인송 세외 정도 로토 연도 저반인송 된도송요. 근데 연바야 아니 희자바데 송에 데라마 파월라리
Long.
파월라기 희자바 오마 희자바 소남 총의 최대라 태송저와 양민주로 송 메소남 총총 소대 춘주를 저속에 동반이 생애들이 지 태송자냐 저거 말했어. 동반이 생애들 가리 면세지 제도에 제가 말이라 계시 제도 제가 얘네인데 나노래 가리 예매 네 신경 말했어.
No. And like
가르송을 소남 총의 최연대라 송래 소남 춘주 소대 춘주 김매되게 최연대를 태송사와 야면줄 태송 즈바 잠지 장세 동 자모 동반이게 전다디 괜찮은지 인로인데 다 괜찮은지 인로 삼네 어 된대지 상로 공연지 연에 태송 즈바 잠지 장 소속의 시바 코아디 쌉해서 어딘데 지어래 동반이거든.
So here there is a quotation from the 400 verses of Aryadeva. A person of little virtue, a person of little virtue doesn't even develop uncertainty about this subject. Which is said, that means that if you are someone with very little merits, the thought of even qualms about what is emptiness, the interest of slightly knowing about that doesn't even come about. Like you're totally disconnected even from the subject. It doesn't come within the frame of your attention. But on the other hand, even if you develop just a qualm about it, how is this? What is this emptiness of inherent existence? How it works? Just that, yet merely developing this uncertainty tears samsara existence to shreds. So it means it shakes the foundation of the very cyclic existence. So it's extremely powerful even just wondering about it. On the other hand, in order even to just wonder about that, you probably need lots of merits.
Tande zika piano degree, yeah. Those much. Meso Mambon Taganavigiori, Diana, Tombany, and the Tesson Zatung is Sundo.
So,
Haritagundo, those a chictana, any
Dinanola.
men.
Like, for instance, try to inquire around how many people in general are even just merely interested in what is the emptiness of inherent existence, or what is emptiness, and see what you find out. Then I say, Rinpoche, like inside here among us, ask yourself, Rinpoche, no, outside. So even it is so difficult even to have a doubt about it, or to wonder about
it. Gomba Javalia, the Annie, you told it too. You told it too. You told my duna Yunguman. You told Karikari Gugurezana. Soon read ne Chinji Malova. Soon read ne Chinji Malova. Chimbi Jubutambala, Danny. Annie, Tony Dunji Dangantova. Ding about to talk. Deje. Any Sosa Digan Java. Sosa Digan Gajamur. Alamata Yadam. Any Yemechani, so and Deva. La Soba. Any Tawanam to Julie Javalia. Any Juso Dinner group.
So there are conditions that you need to collect. In favorable conditions you need to collect first in order to be able to practice and realize the spatial insight, the supramundane spatial insight, the wisdom that realizes emptiness. First of all, you need to rely on a perfectly qualified teacher who has total knowledge and is well versed in all the scriptures and the explanation of the subject. Then you need to, while you do this practice, you need to intensify your practice of accumulating merits and purifying negativities, accumulation and purification. Then, so you need to receive this the instructions as well from such a qualified teacher, and you need to make constant request to the Guru by seeing the Guru in oneness of the same nature with your particularly connected deity. So these are the conditions that you need to realize emptiness.
Oh, those are it. Ani tawa tuanche ke lama tiya, ani kanjong ke me choba, ani zamo tongba ni ke tuan liya, ani ji kare zaware peke ji, yunga yuba, oh ta laba tuya, ani chuta mawa ye yuwe nane, ani pande tanjuwe tawa, 반대 탄주에 따와지 지마지 아니 로마니아 해통이지 어디를 주고
So and therefore the lama, the guru you rely upon in order to realize emptiness cannot just be anyone. This should be someone really learned on the scriptures and with experience, that knows thoroughly and has experienced the subject as well, and especially out of the four philosophical schools, who has thorough knowledge and experience with the prasangika, with the like unmistaken knowledge and experience on the prasangika view.
아니 바유잖아 자갈이야 아니 냐마 좀 바셰쇼베 갈로 좀 바라니게 아니 뒤제 소소 묘래 아니 원래 야스네 아니 조타면라고 희송버 조타면라고 희송버 초도 줘봐도 오만 타죠.
So you see the different philosophical views on emptiness were being explained by Buddha Shakyamuni at his time in India, in order to fulfill the different types of disciples, different attitudes, and so on and so forth. But the highest, the ultimate view on emptiness is what we call prasangika.
아니 신다선제 연지 제소 만라원 도저 랑원들데 세미 제보 세 어디네 지고 위아래 신다선제 연지 제소 만랑 도저 랑원들데 아니 세미 제보 지고 위아래.
So therefore the lama, the teacher should be an exceptional individual, like a holy being who follows the footstep in regarding the view exactly as being taught and practiced by the great trailblazers of India, such as Nagarjuna and so forth.
나가주나란다. 아니 담바 두제자랑게 아니 무엇을 송바래네 무엇을 송네 나가요난게 로서데 네 다와게 양제 탄주에 다와 출발해봐 아니 정연데 아니 마오바나 아니 가르사 야갈 호초 베디유 세디 단다 센데숨 차사데 베디유 세디 베타 중에지 용 자야지 베타 베타 마보 휴지도 하면 단다 베디유 샤초 베디유초 마레 로초 베디유도니 gəlon 반된 차라 데미 루신 베바데 요다 메베 촌 이과 예 아니 요타다 메타 밤베 제요 공부 제와란 렌다다 자와데 공부를 좀바 롱담바.
And Nagarjuna, the coming of Nagarjuna was being prophesied by Buddha Shakyamuni as someone who will practice and propagate the perfect view of a mistaken view of Prasangika. There is a quotation that says that a glorious and renowned monk should appear in the southern land of Vedali, in which it says Vedali is in Tibetan is called Betelyu, that means the land of Betel. You know, betel is it's a particular, it's a root or something that you chew on, you know. Known by the name of Naga, it will destroy the views on being and non-being. So apparently this is in southern India, around where now the 3 great monasteries have been re-established.
Oh, did it. Demi looking over the Yoda maybe chongi. Yota da meta bambi, Javi Combandevala, Javarani, Janta Tatawa, Long Deve Comboluru, Gigi Sondoni, Tawa Sevu we are.
No.
Then love shot. Love shot.
No. The
Janta Tatawa. Long Deve Comboluru, Gigi Sondoni, Tawa Sevu we are.
So therefore, with this quotation, it clearly indicates that in seeking the realization of emptiness, that should be done accordingly, in accordance with the explanation of Nagarjuna.
That Kong Loma Yene, Loma Mambo Yore, Pentuta, Sanja Mejava Mambo Yore, de Nani Chotu Jova, Ani, Dawa Trawata, Pandan Dawa Trawata. Ane Tagana Shingi, Karayungo, Pabalada. Ane, Yawalhala so. Tende Mambo Yore. There's so Nandi Chodu Jovadi, the Nani Jan Chodu Jovadi, Dire. Pandan Dawa Trawata.
So, and Nagarjuna, the great Nagarjuna had countless totally highly realized beings as for disciples, such as Aryadeva, Chandrakirti, Bhava Viveka, and so forth. And Chandrakirti was like really the highest of his spiritual sons.
Ani Dawatawa Yimbadi, Ani, Marato Yami Jo Jimbe di Resombare. Yami George. Tony Kangi to Hianan Sonre, Tony Ka Sutogre, Senas. The Yen Shiva Long Denji, Chuni Dambaziva, Lulu Loman, Darai, Sonne. Gombo Lutugu Loman Dawatawa. In the old Yami George Chamboge, Tindu Dawatawa, the short job in Dawatawa, done the Gombo Lutugi, soon retorted so, Zawali Chene, Ani, Digandili and Jeshete, Ani, Yanda Pavala, the Sanji Janda, Ani Yavala, Tesogi, Song Shaka, to say, Jen Chogre, Yene, Chodu Jobadi, Ani,
And also there is a quotation from that supports the fact that the explanation of Chandrakirti, this disciple of Nagarjuna, who wrote commentaries on the subject, are the supreme explanation. Like even Atisha, the great Atisha said, it's actually, how can emptiness be realized? Actually, I've heard the Rinpoche say, who has realized emptiness? Nagarjuna, who was prophesied by the Tathagata and who perceived the truth of ultimate reality, had a disciple named Chandrakirti. The truth of ultimate reality can be realized through instructions handed down by him. That means even if Nagarjuna had this totally realized disciples such as Aryadeva, Bhava Viveka, Bhuta Palita, and so forth, whose explanation on emptiness are perfect, yet the supreme and most reliable are the explanation of Chandrakirti. And here we end today. Sapegevadi tendan roa kun la gampenda kie para jetson nozo.